Making headlines tonight. Prime Minister Hun Sen now allows over 200 guests for wedding ceremonies in the kingdom. 7 people died in Banteay Minche province after drinking sanitizing alcohol. 4 Khmer ancient sculptures from Denver Art Museum in the United States are returning to Cambodia. Phnom Penh Crown all set for Saturday's Cambodian League match. And Germany finally opens Carnival season, despite the COVID-19 wave. This is the Daily Roundup on the EAC News Channel. A very good evening to you. My name is Paolo Bonini. Good news for those planning to get married. Prime Minister Hun Sen has just removed the limit of the number of guests for wedding ceremonies. He has announced on Friday afternoon, saying that the number of people must be in proportion with the space of the venue, in accordance with health and safety guidelines for COVID-19 set up by the Ministry of Health. EAC News reporter Ria Soko has our top story.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has surprised the public on Friday for making changes on the number of guests allowed in wedding ceremonies. No more limits from now on. It was on Monday, during his speech at the inauguration ceremony of the Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction, when he said that weddings must only have a maximum of 200 guests, including the service provider. But after thorough assessment with different ministries, the Prime Minister says that the number of guests must be according to the space of the venue.
The Ministry of Health has to work with Ministry of Cults and Religions, checking spaces as the basis for determining people. And about the 200, it hurts. Therefore, the standard should be kept a distance of 1.5 meters. If there are more than 200 or 500 people, there will be no problem. And as long as there is space, then let the Buddhists, Muslims, as well as Christians and other religions apply the principle of health measures. Keep a distance at 1.5 meters as the basis of the meeting. We do not define people. Big places can have many guests. Small places can have fewer guests. So, you solve these problems with ownership. At the same time, it is important to look at participants who have been vaccinated as well as those who have not been vaccinated, as we do not allow those who have not been vaccinated to become transmitters for those who have already been vaccinated.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has stressed on the vaccination as one of the most important to be implemented in wedding venues. The Prime Minister has added that this time, the royal government is making the country more open, with people learning to live with COVID-19. Rhea Soko, EAC News.
Following the earlier announcement of the number of guests for wedding ceremonies, Prime Minister Hun Sen added that Cambodia is now fully reopened to all public gatherings. He has emphasized the inclusion of the political parties' gatherings. The Prime Minister of Cambodia announced it on his Facebook page on Friday afternoon. He says, from now on, unlimited gatherings can now be carried out on various celebrations. He specifies that it includes legal gatherings of political parties. However, health rules must be followed to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 disease. Prime Minister Hun Sen has fully reopened the country on the 1st of November, urging the general public to learn to live the new normal way. One of the most affected businesses in the kingdom is entertainment clubs, but they are now being advised to prepare for reopening. The Minister of Tourism has announced on Thursday that there may be an announcement for the reopening of high-risk businesses at the end of the month. So the ministry has advised the owners of KTVs, disco bars and other entertainment clubs to start preparing for opening. News reporter Ria Soko has those details.
The month of December gives hope to the high-risk businesses owners. The Ministry of Tourism has already set the standard operating procedures for them to follow in preparation for the reopening. Last week, Prime Minister Hun Sen has announced that owners of KTVs, disco bars, and other entertainment clubs should wait until the end of November. The royal government is assessing the businesses in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic situation in the country. The Tourism Ministry has released the guidelines on Thursday for the high-risk businesses to adhere so they can reopen starting next month if the government allows. The guidelines include training for business owners and employees on tourism safety rules in line with the new normal. They also have to be ready for regular inspections if they follow the SOPs. In case the guidelines are not followed, the Capital Provincial Administration shall take additional measures as required to shut down the business in accordance to the law enforced. Reyes Soko, EAC News.
With airlines opening worldwide, there is some very welcome news from the airport authorities as they kick into a higher gear to not only welcome much-needed tourists, but also to increase essential freight. Spokesman for the Secretariat of State for Civil Aviation, Sinchan Saray-Vutta, sat down with me to discuss the outlook for airline travel and the biggest priority, that of passenger safety.
As you know, that government, they will close our country, okay? But we have some restriction from most high-risk country like Indonesia, like Malaysia and Philippines. Nowadays, government have decided to reopen this direct flight again. It means from Indonesia and from Malaysia and from Philippines. And the rest, we do not have any restriction. And now government have eased the quarantine time, especially for the diplomat, for the official, for the investor, and for the expert. They can arrive to Cambodia without quarantine, okay? But they need to fill up a lot of the procedure, okay? But secondly, for vaccinated tourism, we also open for the who have vaccinated at least 2 doses or with the 3rd dose. Okay, they can go to the designated area where they can enjoy their time after 5 days. If the government didn't find any positive case, so they can travel around Cambodia.
He also spoke of potential safety concerns arising from planes laying dormant for so long.
Even those we are industry, aviation have been affected by the pandemic, but the safety is not assumption, okay? So the authority from our side, we still oversee to ensure that aircraft have been implemented or have been compliant with the safety measure, have been update all their SOP, okay, have been validate all their technical and personal resources. And we didn't see any assumption to bring down our safety, okay? So safety is still good maintained from before pandemic and during pandemics.
We concluded our chat by looking at the future of air travel and the requirements for all air travellers.
During this reopening to the air traffic again, I think my personal opinion, the business model of the local would be changed. Okay, as you know that government have decided to choose the policy living with COVID. Okay, so the requirement for traveling by air is different from pre-pandemic. Okay, as you know, before you travel, every country require you to have a test to ensure that you are not carrying positive case. You are healthy. Secondly, you have to, they also require you to purchase travel insurance, which is cover also the COVID disease also. Okay, and thirdly, you have to ensure your booking with the hotel. And this booking, if you cancel, you cannot get it back. Okay, so what I mean change business model change. The travel time and the cost for air traveler will be more than pre-pandemic, okay? And also when you fly to other country, depend on their policy and measure, okay? You have to stay or without stay in the hotel or in the quarantine area, okay? Example like Thailand, they not require you to stay at quarantine area, but you have to ensure you are healthy, insurance cover, and to ensure that where you are staying. So after your arrival, you will be tested, and then you can go to your hotel, and then you have to wait for the result. If you are negative, so you can travel around.
The aviation industry globally was quite simply paralyzed by COVID-19. But here in Cambodia, the outlook is exceedingly bright. Last year alone, the cargo increased by a full 70%. And that only spells good news, because surely the passengers will follow and tourism will get a much needed boost. Paolo Benini, EAC News, SSCA, Phnom Penh. 7 Cambodian migrant workers died after drinking a sanitizing alcohol while in quarantine at Banteay Minche province. The workers, who came from Thailand, believed to have drunk the alcohol, which is supposed to be used for sanitation. They mixed it with tea and soft drinks, resulting in their deaths. EAC News reporter Ria Soko has the story.
7 out of 25 migrant workers died from drinking sanitizing alcohol while in quarantine at Koh Tmom Center in Poi-Pit City. They mixed the alcohol with soda and tea. Poi-Pit City Deputy Governor Hun Virak has told EAC News that the workers came back from Thailand. He says they prohibited them to bring the alcoholic beverages such as beer inside the quarantine. So instead, the workers used the alcohol for sanitization available in the quarantine center and mixed it with soda and tea on Thursday afternoon. Soon after drinking, the workers show poisoning symptoms. They were rushed to Poi-Pit Referral Hospital and some to Siem Reap Provincial Hospital. Banteay Minche's Department of Health Deputy Director Run Suthe says that as of Friday morning, 7 did not survive the poison from the alcohol. He also says that they are collecting samples of the drink for examination. Rhea Soko, EAC News.
Cambodia's number of COVID-19 fatalities continues to fall. Also, the number of positive cases is in decline. The Minister of Health has announced that 4 people died in the past 24 hours. That makes the total COVID deaths to 2,856. The number of positive cases of COVID-19 has also remained low. 63 were declared infected overnight, making the country's total cases 119,421. While recoveries continue to beat the number of infected people, 67 patients were declared free of COVID on Friday. Cambodia's total number of recoveries now stands at 115,797. The kingdom's active cases are just 768. 4 Khmer ancient sculptures from a museum in the United States are set to head home to Cambodia. The Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts made the announcement on Thursday, stating that this was achieved with the support of a memorandum of understanding between the government of United States of America and the Royal Government of Cambodia. EAC News reporter Ria Soka has that story.
The U.S. government, led by the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York and Homeland Security Investigations, filed a civil forfeiture action relating to the 4 Khmer sculptures from Denver Art Museum. Minister of Culture and Fine Arts Phung Sakuna says that they are thrilled to continue to welcome such precious treasures back to Cambodia and very pleased with the ongoing collaboration with the U.S. government. 3 of the 4 ancient sculptures are sandstone. 1 depicts the standing Prajnaparamita, believed to be from 12th to early 13th century. It is the Bodhisattva of wisdom and the spiritual mother of all Buddhas. Another is the statue of Surya, the sun god of Hinduism from 7th to 8th century. Third is the sandstone lintel depicting the sleeping Vishnu and birth of Brahman from 7th to 8th century. And the last one is an Iron Age bronze bell. According to witnesses, this bell was found as a set of 12 bells arranged in a circle around a central stone in the area of Pursat to Battambang provinces. Minister Puing Sakuna says the continued success is due to the peace in Cambodia through the win-win policy of Prime Minister Hun Sen, which has opened an opportunity for the return of the souls of the Khmer ancestors departed from their motherland during war and conflict. She has added that the Cambodian government is thankful for the efforts made by the U.S. government and the people bridging for the return of the sculptures. The royal government has encouraged museums and private collectors with Khmer cultural properties to reach out to the ministry to share provenance documentation and to move towards voluntarily repatriations of the Cambodian treasures. Reyes Soko, EAC News.
The Ministry of Environment has confirmed to the international community that Cambodia is all set to address climate change, with the aim of reducing its carbon footprint. It is also committed to reducing energy wastage by increasing energy efficiency. Both energy efficiency and the use of renewable resources was discussed at the 26th summit of the parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change in Glasgow, Scotland. Minister of Environment Saisam Al has highlighted during the summit that climate change is a primary global issue. He has called for an increase in financial assistance for the most climate vulnerable countries, so that they may increase their resilience to climate change. He has also urged all developed countries to increase their contribution to the financial mechanism under the convention, and to further facilitate access to these funds directly. Cambodia has set a goal of reducing emissions by 43% by 2030. In addition, Cambodia is developing a long-term carbon-neutral development strategy to promote low-carbon activities, climate resilience and environmental development. The Ministry of Environment says that the kingdom is aiming for 15% of its future power to be sourced from solar energy. Lawyers confirmed that Rong Chun's release after serving a reduced sentence. The Cambodian political activist is scheduled to be released on Friday. It was confirmed by his lawyer after serving a year's prison sentence. Rong Chun, who is also a trade union president, was arrested in July last year for his controversial statement over land issues. EAC news reporter Ria Soka has the details.
Rong Chun's lawyer, Sam Soo-kong, has confirmed to EAC News that the convicted political activist is scheduled for release on Friday. The Court of Appeal had sentenced Rong Chun to 1 year, 3 months, and 11 days in prison on the 1st of August last year. The lawyer says that he must be out on Friday, not on a Saturday. Cambodian Trade Union President Rong Chun was arrested in late July 2020 after issuing a statement on the land dispute between the Bung Kumum province and Vietnam. A total of 106 Cambodian families were mentioned in his statement living in Bung Kumum's Trapiang Plong Commune, Bonia Creek District. Rong Chun was also sentenced by Phnom Penh Municipal Court on 18th of August this year to 2 years in prison for inciting social unrest. Reyes Soko, EAC News.
Now for a look at the news making international headlines this Friday, 12th of November.
The future that could only be imagined in movies and dreams in the past has come true when South Korea has demonstrated a system for controlling urban air mobility vehicles on Thursday. It is hoped to serve as taxis between major airports and downtown Seoul as soon as 2025. A two-seater multi-rotor personal air vehicle from Volocopter was mobilized for a government event to see how air transportation and urban air mobility can coexist at crowded airports. Volocopter is a German aircraft manufacturer specializing in the design of electric motor rotor helicopters for air taxi use. After a 3-minute flight of about 3 kilometers at a speed of 48 kilometers per hour is a designated corridor, the Volocopter flying vehicle landed safely onto a takeoff place at Gimpo Airport located in the western end of Seoul. Speculators were government officials and members of Urban Air Mobility Team Korea, which is a public-private consultative body that aims to commercialize drone taxis in 2025. Urban air mobility is an ecosystem covering personal air vehicles and infrastructure such as a new navigation system, takeoff and landing fields, and charging technologies.
At least 14 people have been killed on Thursday due to heavy rain pounding India's southern Tamil Nadu state. Several districts in the state are on high alert, bracing for more torrents as a depression over the southwest Bay of Bengal. The Indian Meteorological Department has given a warning of intense rain in isolated places. Footage shows residents wading through knee-deep water and vehicles nearly submerged on flooded roads. A state government official says some of the deaths were due to walls collapsing on people. 2 people were killed in the past 24 hours. At least 800 huts have been destroyed. Multiple teams of the National Disaster Response Forces have been sent to help local authorities with rescue efforts. In Chennai, which is among the worst hit, hundreds of people have been led to safety from vulnerable areas. Authorities have also set up more than 100 relief centers and distributed free food to the victims. Flights into Chennai have been suspended. The rains this week are among the heaviest to have hit the city since 2015.
And Russian flag carrier Aeroflot has denied any involvement in organizing mass transportation of migrants and refugees from the Middle East travel to Belarus on Thursday. The European Commission was considering sanctioning the state-controlled airline for participating in what Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen has called human trafficking. It triggered a furious response in Moscow and saw shares in the airline fall by as much as 2% at the start of trading Thursday. After the reports on possible sanctions, the company has issued a statement saying that the airline does not operate regular flights to the cities of Iraq and Syria or flights on the Istanbul-Minsk route. Charter flights to these destinations are not carried out. The situation on the border between Belarus and Poland has escalated dramatically in recent days, with thousands having traveled from the Middle East to the ex-Soviet country amassing at the Polish border, hopes of crossing into Europe and seek asylum.
After the break, a look at all the latest sports news.
EAC News fully supports the Royal Government of Cambodia's preventative and administrative measures against COVID-19. But we need you to play your part in helping bring the 20 February community transmission event to an end. Wash your hands regularly, sanitize wherever possible. Keep an eye on your body temperature. Use the Stop COVID QR code and maintain a safe social distance. But above all, please, 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 wear a mask. Only together can we beat COVID-19. EAC News' audience is growing. Our YouTube channel has over 150,000 verified subscribers. To mark the milestone, we've received the Silver Creator Award from YouTube. It's given to channels with over 100,000 subscribers. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki says the award celebrates EAC News' hard work and incredible achievement. She says we brought a unique voice and style to the world, but have also created valuable connections and built a community along the way. The next milestone we're going for is 1 million subscribers, and we'd really like that Gold Creator Award. So if you're not already a subscriber, head to YouTube and search for EAC News. Subscribers get alerts when the Daily Roundup is premiering and live events are streaming. Get all the latest breaking news and updates from Cambodia in English. The EAC News channel on YouTube. Cambodia made clear. If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me, Andrew Barnes-Roberts, and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
One of Cambodia's finest football teams, Phnom Penh Crown, is about to play one of the most important matches of the season. They are competing in the Metphone Cambodian League and have a string of victories behind them. On Saturday, the match is against Visakha Football Club. If Phnom Penh Crown wins, they will be champions of this season. EAC News reporter Yuri Matosko has the details.
The players are tying their laces, stretching their bodies, and warming up on field. They are all focused for Saturday's big match. Phnom Penh Crown's head coach Oleg Starinsky has told EAC News the club want nothing less than victory.
Yeah, so tomorrow will be a decisive game. So as you know, there is 2 games left, and this is a game when the first position meets with the second one, and the victorious of this game will become the champion. So for us, we work hard to be in this position where we are now. So we come to the stadium, to Visakha Stadium, only with 1 point, only to get the 3 points.
He said the COVID-19 pandemic made the club's training unpredictable, turning this year's league the most challenging of all.
So I would say it's maybe, not the maybe, 100% the most weird season I ever met. And I think comparing with the rest of the world, I think there was a lot of obstacles what we have. Sometimes we have lockdowns when everything stopped for 1 month or for 2 months with no games. And then you have the period of when you need to play 2-3 games per week, which is very, very demanding. So, but as you see, the players show strong character, and in each game they was pushing for the victories. So, as I said, that's why we're in the top position now. So we accept this challenge, and I would say we adapt quite well for this situation.
But for the players, no challenge is bigger than the feeling of being one step to victory.
My feeling for tomorrow game is like I feeling like excited for this game, that where we training hard for this game, we prepare everything for this game, and at this game we decide that we become a champion or not, and then I hope this game is a good game.
I'm excited for this game. We're training hard, we are confident, and tomorrow is their big game. And the expression is 6-point game, and I hope gonna be champions this game. And I don't need come from home against Bonket, and focus this game and try win for gonna be champion, because I know is defense need this this year because long time training hard and many situation, bad situation this year about COVID and I believe yes.
And Saturday won't be a special day only for the players, but also for the fans, who are finally able to watch the match inside the stadium since the reopening of public spaces following safe measures.
Look, we are really happy. We are really happy to have the fans back, because that's why we are playing. We're playing for the entertainment, because we in such a sport where it's very important to feel the support from the fans, and doesn't matter what kind of game, the fans give you the additional energy. So it's for us to have the last game with Hudson Cup with the people, it's already different feelings. And when we come on for the last two games in MCL, and plus I hope there's still more games in Hudson Cup, you know, the players, that's what they want. They want to be to feel this pressure, to accept this pressure, and to take the energy from the outside and put it on a pitch to show the quality of the game. So we are really happy. We are really happy to be back and to have these emotions.
I hope like all supporters come to cheer Phnom Penh Crown and make the Phnom Penh Crown win the game.
I'm feeling very happy. The fans return, and we miss it, and that leaves us more motivated to win for them. And I'm very happy. It's the fans. I love fans, and emotion is on the win the score is very good.
EAC News brought one lucky fan to exclusively watch the players training for tomorrow's match. He said watching them on screen is not the same as on stadium.
As one of the biggest fans of Phnom Penh Crown since 2010, I'm very happy to be back at the stadium to watch our team play in, like, we can see face to face, not on TV or look through YouTube or Facebook again. And I'm so glad. I have seen many victories that Phnom Penh Crown have achieved in the past few years, and I'm looking forward to see the victory of tomorrow game. We will be the championship tomorrow game. We are Phnom Penh Crown, we are the Red.
Phnom Penh Crown will play tomorrow against Visakha Football Club on Prince Stadium, Phnom Penh at 3:30 p.m. with the ticket price at 10,000 riel.
PPC, I give my life on the pitch. Let's go, vamos PPC, vamos.
Since the 20 February community outbreak, the public is not allowed to watch the match in person. But now, with the country set to the new normal, they're finally able to cheer for their players inside the stadium. And it comes as the best time for the fans of the Phnom Penh Crown. They are about to win the championship of the MCL. Yuri Matosco, EAC News, RSN Stadium, Phnom Penh.
Australia has reached the 2020 World Cup final with a 5-wicket victory over Pakistan in the second semi-final played on Thursday. The triumph against Pakistan takes them through to the next game against New Zealand on Sunday. T20 World Cup final is being held at Dubai International Stadium, famous for its Ring of Fire.
Set 177 for victory, David Warner made 49 before Australia rode unbeaten camels from Marcus Stoinis and Matthew Wade to clinch the win with 1 over to spare. Earlier, Mohammad Rizwan and Fakhar Zaman smashed breezy half-centuries to help Pakistan post 176 for at the Dubai International Stadium. But in Tibet, Pakistan got off to a strong start with Rizwan and skipper Babar Azam, forging a 71-run partnership for the opening wicket. Fakhar provided the late charge for the 2009 champions, with an unbeaten 55 off 32 balls. New Zealand beat England in the first semi-finals in Abu Dhabi on Wednesday.
Now let's have a look at the weather and see what you can expect over the next few days. And finally, German Carnival season officially opens in Cologne, Germany. Despite a recent COVID upsurge, only people who have recovered from COVID-19 or are fully vaccinated being admitted to the festivals. Germany at current is facing a record surge in infections.
Every year on 11th November, at exactly 11:11 in the morning, costumed people storm the town halls and symbolically take power for the coming weeks. It marks the beginning of the Carnival season, which Germans also call the fifth season. Cologne's pleasure seekers could not completely escape the pandemic during celebrations of the fifth or silly season, after the Carnival's prince tested positive for the virus and was forced to skip the event for the second year running. Last year, Germany was in the middle of a COVID-19 lockdown and all mass events, such as street carnivals, were cancelled. Carnival in Germany typically means masses of people attending alcohol-laden parties and costume parades. This year, despite skyrocketing infection rates as Germany navigates its fourth wave, the cities of Cologne and Düsseldorf are going ahead with their celebrations. Partygoers say they felt safe. The controls are so intense, so people want to make the most of it. Carnival is celebrated in Germany's predominantly Catholic West and South, with much swaying to traditional ballads and brass bands, masses of people attending alcohol-laden parties and costume parades.
Thanks for watching the Daily Roundup here on the EAC News Channel. For more breaking news and updates, check our website at eacnews.asia. You can also search for EAC News on Telegram or your favourite app store. More from the EAC News team tomorrow at 8. I will see you then.